Welcome to the Fantasy NASCAR Podcast, Michigan Cup Series Sunday morning show, August 18th. Let's quickly get you through this, save your Sunday, save you a bunch of time. First of all, qualifying rained out. Practice session, kind of spotty, slightly misleading. You want to rely on the practice data? That's fine. There's some decent data in there. But I wouldn't go too heavy. I would trust current form. But if you want to look at that practice data, we got it in the spreadsheet. Jump on it. Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. You know the routine. Send it over to me. I'll share the sheet with you. Who we like this week? As always, every single week, you can throw a blanket over the top 15. I know it's a cop-out. I know it's redundant, but we're used to it by now. There's not a lot of difference between these top-tier cars. They share data. They share everything. The package evens the field. You can make a strong case for everyone. But the best case for any given driver would be, well, what do they do week in, week out? You can find all that data in the spreadsheet. I have no problem going to Denny Hamlin. I have no problem going to Reddick if people are going to freak out about him not laying down the fastest lap. Overall, if I look at his 5 best laps, not terrible. Sure, love for him to be as good as Larson, and we're going to love Larson. But Tyler Reddick and that 2311 team has been absolutely on fire this summer. All the different tracks they go to, they have been fast. They're knocking on the door of a win. I like Hamlin more, like Larson more, but Reddick's there. Bella's there. You can make a strong case for Bubba Wallace, also in a 2311 car. And this is a track where Bubba Wallace's, I wouldn't say lack of skill, but skill that's not quite as good as others, isn't as big of a difference. We're out there turning laps. You got speed, you got speed. Bubba can do it. Chase can do it. Ross Chastain, it looks like Trackhouse has found some speed at Richmond. And now this week, aggressive restarts at Michigan, could get him track position. Definitely on board. He may not be your number one hog. He may freak you out. Oh, he's starting too close to the front. Good. We want him starting close to the front so he can run up front. At 8,100, along with Bubba Wallace, I could see them sandwiching into lineups and still having pretty good days. I know there's always the worry, if they go backwards. But if they maintain position at their price relative to others, they can fit into the winning lineup. Is it going to be the best pick? Is it going to be number 1, number 2, 3 DFS score? Maybe not. But could Ross Chastain score 7th or 8th most fantasy points? Yes. And in doing so, at his price, he becomes a better play and allows you to build a better lineup. I think they're firmly on board. And you can build, if you're running with the optimizer, a lineup that really stacks Bubba and Ross. I don't think I'm going to go that way. That's by giving them everyone ceiling projections. The optimizer is going to love these 8K guys. If you're a little more strict on your projections and limiting it to only a couple drivers like a Hamlin or a Larson and saying you don't see Chastain really having a home run day or Bubba Wallace doing that, then yeah, they fall out of that optimal lineup and you're going to spend up and spend down. But for my money, Hamlin, Larson seem to be favorites. Skipping over some of these guys in the middle. Remember, qualifying was rained out, so that opens up some place differential. So as we do a short podcast, I'll just go ahead and jump quickly to that. We're going to love Martin Truex Jr. Did have speed in practice, had a terrific race car last season at this track, should have won. Just couldn't quite complete the pass on Buescher. Lost a bunch of momentum, and Buescher was able to hold on. But Truex clearly had the best car that day. Looks like they've dialed it in again. I love going to Truex. I like Larson. I like Hamlin. In the back, remember, qualifying rained out. So you get AJ Allmendinger starting in the back because we didn't have qualifying. Do I expect him to have a great day? No. But he's not a 35th place race car. That's just the spot he was assigned at 5,600. Again, at a track where you don't really need to be the best race car driver. He will be extremely popular and should be. You want to differentiate and get cute and try some of these other guys? That's fine, but we know what we've seen out of him, Hemrick, Nemechek, and Burton, and we've seen more speed out of the Kaulig cars. Give me Kaulig. And then also, Ricky Stenhouse appears to have some speed this weekend. I know we got to go back in time and rewind and rehash what we've seen from Stenhouse this year. But overall, this is a top 20 car, sometimes a top 15 car, as long as Stenhouse doesn't get in the way, like he got in the way last week, causing all of the madness. But he's very capable of 20th, at 6,200, starting 30th because last week helped settle starting position. The Stenhouse, Allmendinger, and then that gives you up a lot of money to basically spend on anyone you want. Like a Truex. I think even an Alex Bowman. I think Alex Bowman will be the popular move away from a Bubba Wallace and a Ross Chastain. People love to chase place differential, and this is a track where you can chase place differential. And Alex Bowman's been a 15th to 10th place race car, looks pretty decent. I don't doubt that he can move further. I don't know if Briscoe has that upside. I don't know if Gilliland has that upside. Ty Gibbs probably has similar upside, but you're paying more. Buescher is another big pivot away from Bubba and Ross. And we've seen him run well. We've seen him run well at this track. Ford's generally run well at Michigan. What's won 10 in a row? I expect him easily to get into the top 10. I like Buescher. I like Bowman. I like Truex. These are all pretty chalky. I like Keselowski as well. Buescher's a little cheaper, but I'll take Truex or Keselowski. I'll also take Logano, not overreact to practice. It's been a top 10 to top 5 car at all the diverse tracks this summer. Penske has found speed. No problem going here. Here come the beeps. The beeps say that the treadmill needs to stop or it's going to burn out. So I will stop it, and I'll stop my podcast because we've gone over what we really need to go over. Where am I at? I like Hamlin. I like Larson. All these drivers are in play, but that's where I firmly stand. To the lesser extent, we got Reddick, we got Bell. I think Bubba Wallace and Ross Chastain are interesting ways to build lineups. Probably should warm up to Blaney more. We know the speed that this car has, and he's giving you a little bit more place differential, but ultimately I like Larson and Hamlin. And then we know the value picks that stand out the best, which are Stenhouse and AJ Allmendinger. If you want to get cute and try to go with someone else and just hope they have a lucky day, I wouldn't fault you for that. You're just saving money and stacking some guy in the back and hoping things work out, because in the end, the C class, the lemon class, there's not a huge difference between them. But if I had to pick based on data and practice and where I feel and trying to be more analytical, I like Stenhouse, I like Allmendinger. You want to be different? If you found some sort of nugget that leans you towards Haley or Zane Smith, then by all means go for it. But I'll take the place differential and what I've seen this year with my eyes. And then obviously Truex, very popular. Had bad week last week. Unfortunate day with his engine giving out. So he starts 24th. Looks like the engine's back on and ready to roll. Yes, give me some of that. I like Bowman as well. And then Buescher. And then Keselowski. And then Logano. Thanks for joining me. Like, subscribe, share, Venmo, PayPal, Cash App if you'd like to see more of the data to try to differentiate and make a little bit better picks back with the punts. Or maybe you want to look more at the lap-by-lap data for some of these drivers up towards the front. Thanks, guys.